We're outside today working on some garden upkeep and picking a spring harvest. Our system is a no-till system. We have mulched our beds with compost every year since the beginning of this garden in 2015. We're trying to stretch the 20-yard load of compost that we had trucked in last year. This means that our beds are only getting a light layer of compost every time we prep. We can tell a difference already though. We've had to do more frequent shallow cultivation in order to keep the weeds down. Jason likes using this hula hoe to get in between plants and be able to maneuver around the rows in each bed. The Cobra Head cultivator is my preference for hand weeding because of the same reason. I can get around the plants much easier when I'm pulling weeds inside the bed and within the rows.
Okay, so we're going to do a quick fertilize on our onions. We fertilize them with Nature Safe 855 at planting. It's been, I don't know, it's been probably a month anyways since they've been planted. And they need to be fertilized at least 3 or 4 more times before they start bulbing. We do practice organic gardening, organic practices. And so we use Agro Thrive, which is pre-digested, so it acts quickly like commercial fertilizers do. And we grow pretty good onions.
We've got quite a few things that are ready to start picking. That's cilantro that's just a little bit out of hand. But here's spinach. That's ready. We've got green onions. These are bunching onions. We've got radishes. They look really good. You can tell they're getting really big. We're gonna pick those.
Huh?
I just got one not that big. And James was supposed to do
I didn't tell him to. I told him to go figure out who left out and then put it away.
just construe that. Are these gonna taste any different or be too big?
I don't think so.
Spicy.
It's not be spicy. It's gonna be too big. Yeah.
we've just gone through and cleared out all the ones that are really big, and we've left other radishes that are on the smaller side, and that'll give them more space to bulb out and get bigger. We've also decided that we're going to sprinkle some radish seed to fill in some of these empty places where we just picked. So we'll kind of succession plant and have more coming up that'll be ready at a different time. To harvest the green onions, we just pull the entire bunch at a time. Jason is going through and he's just picking a few of the slightly bigger ones. They're still on the small side, but they'll be fine. Keep your eyes posted for a volunteer surprise spring vegetable.
Pull that one bunch. And very good.
Quickly, I'd like to say a special thank you to Maddie. She's learning the harmonica, and that's what you hear in the background. Thanks for the background music, Maddie. We need to be picking asparagus every day, but sometimes we just don't make it out, and when we don't, this is what happens. So these are bolted. We're not keeping those. They'll go to compost.
It's probably still okay.
Jason is picking tiny bok choys from Baker Creek. As typical for this time of year, our weather alternates between colder days and a lot warmer days. Those series of warmer days will sometimes cause our small spring plants to shoot up really quickly, and they'll bolt.
That's good.
Because some of them have bolted, that means they're growing up, they're starting to flower, and they just won't taste as good. Bolted bok choy can have kind of a bitter taste, so we'll get rid of the ones that bolted, but we'll save what we can.
Purple Lady from Baker Creek.
That's a good picking for today, so now we're ready to wash them. So I just wanted to stop and show you some of the plants that we potted up not too long ago. This is exactly 2 weeks difference. So these tomatillos were much shorter and the stalk was skinnier and flimsier. They were leggy, they were falling over, and you can see how much it's grown just in 2 weeks, the benefit of potting up. This will be much better putting it in the ground. It'll withhold the wind, it'll withhold pest damage better. This is eggplant, and so it shot up to just 2 weeks in a bigger pot has really accelerated the growth. Here's a good example of why we don't get to accomplish everything we want to in the garden and some of the interruptions that arise. Sometimes we just have to stop what we're doing to repair things. This hose has been the best hose ever. It's lasted a super long time. We don't have a replacement for it right now, but we do have the tools to repair it. So that's what Jason's working on before we can wash the vegetables to bring them in. We're working at our garden prep table. We use it to wash vegetables before we take them inside. It helps us keep more dirt outside and keep the inside of our house just a little bit cleaner, and we have more room and freedom with the water. There's a work section, that's the flat surface, a wash section that has an old repurposed sink, and a drying section that's lined with hardware cloth on the bottom. To clean up the onions, Jason will use the pressure from the hose to get most of the dirt off and then clip off the roots. They're not entirely clean. We'll still have to clean them before we use them, but they're definitely clean enough to come inside and put in the fridge. Wash the radishes. We cut the tops off, the green part, and then we cut the root tip. The discarded parts will go into a bucket that we'll take over to the compost, and then the radishes will soak in a basin of water to get all the dirt off. We really enjoy days like today. We get a little bit of work done and then we come inside with a good harvest. We hope you're enjoying the last bits of spring as much as we are. Thanks for watching and join us next time as we continue our summer planting.
Video. Okay, stop.
It's filming.
Don't smile.